everyone, it's Hannah and welcome back to another studio vlog. I feel like I haven't seen you in a really long time. Today is Wednesday the 18th of January. I don't know what is happening with my hair, but these things happen. You know, I try to do something a bit different, something a bit fancy, and I don't know how I feel about it, but it's on my head, so it's happening. I need to wash my hair and I couldn't be bothered. I was meant to get my hair cut yesterday, then I got a text from my hairdresser on Monday to say that she's currently ill, so can't do it. So I've said no problem, no rush. Feel like I've only just gone anyway. The colour has faded, but that's fine. Like I say, there's no rush. But yes, I've been away. Feel like I haven't spoken to you in a really long time, so I thought, yeah, I would vlog today, do a cheeky little vlog for you all. I hope that you are all well. Currently, today's plan is to bead weave because I don't have water to the dye shed, and yeah, I have loads of stitch markers that I need to make for East Anglia Yarn Festival because the weeks are going to tick by very quickly very soon, and I need stock because I have a double booth to fill, which might have been an error, but anyway, yeah, let's go bead weave. I feel like I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, but that's because I haven't. Whilst I did post a video last week that was recorded the week before, I've been away for 10 days from the house. It feels a little bit weird chatting to you again, so I thought I would just have a little segment of a bead and chat in this video because I need to get my button gear for East Anglia Yarn Festival with making stitch markers because I'm very behind. 2 weeks ago I worked out I need to make 30 stitch markers a day. Then I took some beading stuff away with me and it stayed in the bag and I didn't touch it the whole time. You know what? It was actually glorious. It was actually glorious. So I went down to my parents in the south for 5 days and that was lovely. Spending time with them, seeing them after Christmas, in the new year, all of that fun stuff. It's a bit weird, all my Christmas decorations are now down. And then Mario and I went to Sicily for 5 days and stayed with his mum and her partner and their dog. And that was lovely. That was delightful. It was like 16, 17 degrees centigrade. And so, yeah, it was like a nice spring day. Still jumper weather, but not coat weather. Although the Italians didn't seem to know this and were in thick coats and hats and scarves. And then were confused why we weren't in thick coats and hats and scarves. But I had a lovely time. A lovely time. I've read 2 books since we've last spoken. I finished the second one today, What's Happening. I'm back, I got it. I finished the second one this very morning, so I got a later start to the day. I only started it on the plane on Monday and today's Wednesday, as I said. So yeah, I've read a book in 2 days, which is not my usual thing. I don't tend to do that. And it looked like a really chunky book, but I realised the text is very spread out and the pages were quite thick, so it was all an illusion and I couldn't put the book down, so I read it very quickly, unlike the previous book I read, which it took me a while to get into, and then once I was into it I wasn't like hugely into it. I more read it because I had it, you know, one of those. But very much back on the reading train, which is very nice. I need to look through what books I have to read and see what's going to be next in the reading list, because at the moment I do not know. We had a lovely trip to Palermo, had a walk around there. I went to one yarn shop, but it was more just like it was like a haberdashery shop. It was very crowded because there was lots of stuff everywhere, and then there were like a few people there, but there wasn't that much yarn there, and so I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to dip out of souvenir yarn on this trip. It's not a problem. I don't need souvenir yarn on this trip. It would have been nice to found a shop with hand-dyed yarn, but I didn't ask the people, i.e. you lovely lot, and so I didn't know where to look. And that's okay, we just had a nice time walking around, going through the markets and just, you know, surveying the sights. And we ate lots of lovely food. I had my fair share of ice cream. We ate baked goods, as you can imagine. Being married to a baker, you eat baked goods, and yeah. I very much feel like I'm dressed a bit all over the place. I got my sweaty weather jumper on. This particular style isn't available anymore, but I have one the same that says it's sweater weather because a clothing brand trademarked the phrase sweater weather in the UK on any jumpers and clothing, items of clothing, and I didn't know. So I put an it's, and now it's sweater weather, which is fair game. It's stupid, I know it's stupid, but welcome, oh no, it's too cold to roll my sleeves up. Welcome to trademark times. So I asked my sister to turn the taps on to stop them freezing, and it doesn't seem to have worked because the taps down the dye shed have frozen. Not asking for solutions. I'm not asking for solutions. I'm sharing the problem. I don't need to be told what I could do to fix the problem. I'm just sharing the problem as of right now. But yes, so pipes are frozen. So I was going to be dyeing yarn today, but actually it's worked out quite well that I can't dye yarn because I've got loads of stitch markers to make. So it's probably better that I get on with that and I don't have the excuse of yarn. But I really, really do want to dye up the new collection. The cold snap isn't for as long as last time, which is why I'm not looking for a solution. Because yesterday I, did all the washing and got all of that, got on top of all of that. Well, Mary put a load of washing on it. We didn't get back till 2 AM Tuesday morning because part of the M11 was closed, which meant that the route home we wanted to take wasn't available, so we had to go an awkward long way across the top of London and up. Followed the sat nav, it was fine, we got back eventually, but I didn't want to fall asleep in the car because Mario was driving, and I didn't want to fall asleep in the car because he couldn't fall asleep, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay awake and chat to him and listen to the radio. And actually late night radio was quite good once we got past the like cool relaxing groove time and we got onto the night shift one, which is someone Mario listens to quite a lot, obviously, because he's a baker and works early mornings. It was actually quite a bit more upbeat. There was one point where I almost fell asleep. I was like, no, I cannot, I must stay awake. But we didn't get back till 2 AM. And then Mario, bless his little cotton socks, got up with the bubs to feed them and let me have a bit of a lie-in, which was really nice. But then, yeah, he had to go and help out some friends at another bakery. And yeah, the cats are fine. My sister looked after them while we were away, bless her. Yeah, we're those, I'm so not used to wearing a headscarf. We're those awkward people when we go away. We have cats that need looking after, but we also have sourdough starter that needs looking after. So, you know, we're those awkward people. So my sister's fiance cared for the sourdough starter and Charlotte cared for the cats. The cats being a bit more hard work than the sourdough starter, obviously. But they got the zoomies when we got home. They snuggled with us in bed and they've been cuddling with us, and now they just walk around and meow every so often. I think it's because after 10 days of only being fed, or after 10 days of the only person someone was in the house was when they were fed, now they're kind of conditioned to think that because I'm in the house they need to be fed, but no. So it's slightly irritating, but if they get too annoying I can just nip out to a coffee shop and do some bead weaving or something. But as of right now they're being absolutely fine and being asleep. So yeah, that is all that's really been happening since I last spoke to you. It doesn't feel like I have much to share, but you know, these things happen. I have done lots. I feel like I was away from home for a really long time. Had a good time catching up with friends. That was lovely. And then, yeah, just standard stuff. I don't know. I just feel like I've been out of it for a little bit. But I'm feeling very jazzed and very rejuvenated after going away and coming back. This is what I usually feel in the new year, but I wasn't feeling it. But I guess that's just because I knew I was going to be going away. But now I feel all jazzed and excited. I just want to get down the dye shed and work on my new collection. I'm going to be having a new collection, but I don't know when it's going to be released. I think in February. It's going to be pre-order. It's going to be based on various books from D&D. And I think I'm going to have it as an 8 to 10 week turnaround, which I know is a long time. But I have East Anglia Yarn Festival in mid-March. But January has been a light... I'm going to be vulnerable, talk money. January has been a light month of earning, i.e. only what I got on YouTube last month and my Skillshare sponsorship from last month. So that is my only income for this month, which isn't very much because I don't actually get that much money from YouTube. You get a little bit more in November and December, which is why people do Vlogmas. Fun fact, because ad revenue is higher because businesses are paying more for ads, therefore YouTubers are paid more, which is why you will see a huge uptick in videos in December, and then it tails off again in January, because in January it dips way down below what it was before December. So you go down by loads and then it starts to climb up again in like February, March. But that might explain some people's upload schedule. But I actually don't get paid very much from YouTube. I can't say specifics, but the average month is under £200, just for transparency's sake, just to let you know, just to give you an idea and a gauge. But I mean, it all adds up, it's all very helpful. But anyway, January month earnings are quite low. And I'm not going to be able to do a shop update before East Anglia Yarn Festival because I've got to make all of this stuff. So I'm going to do a pre-order instead, and then I can get East Anglia Yarn Festival done out the way, and then I can, when I come back, I can hit the ground running, stick all the stuff in the shop and dye up all the pre-orders and ship them out, and hopefully Royal Mail International orders or international parcels, letters, etc. will be back to being shipped, because they had ransomware cyber issue where they are currently pausing all international shipping, which is very annoying because I actually have an international order that I need to post, but I'll just use another shipping provider. It's not the company, business, whatever. Anyway, I am going to go and keep bead weaving these, and I'll be back a little bit later on, probably to make a cup of tea because it's tea time. I'm just making a Yorkshire tea biscuit brew. I had way too long without having any Yorkshire tea biscuit brew at all, so I'm making up for lost time. Oh, I love it so much. I love it. My in-laws aren't tea drinkers, which isn't a problem. Everyone has their thing. But because they're not, oh, that's way too much milk. Because they're not tea drinkers, they bought me some tea bags and out in Sicily. And, well, the first ones I had were absolutely disgusting. But then they were so kind, they went out and bought some more. And we found a little cafe that did English breakfast tea, which made all the difference, I won't lie. Because I was going through slight tea withdrawal. I love tea, in case you can't tell. So I'm just trying to make up for lost time, now I'm back, by drinking English breakfast tea. But now I'm concerned because I just put way too much milk in and people are going to want tea when we have D&D later. Oh, I made an error, I might have to nip to the shop. But that's okay, there's time. So let's focus me instead of this cup. I have finished bead weaving those blueberries that I was doing. Not blueberries, but blueberries, the berries that are blue. They are all done. It's just, yarn shows are so much work. And I think, I'm 99% sure, East Anglia Yarn Festival is going to be my only yarn show this year, because it's too much work and it takes too much time away from my shop, which means my international customers don't get shop updates, and that's not fair on them. So yeah, I think East Anglia Yarn Festival is going to be my only yarn show. It's in mid-March. Then after mid-March, back to shop updates. I think that might be the smart thing to do. Let's chat about the pros and cons of doing yarn shows, because it's just something I've been thinking about today, really. So I personally think, I'm going to be waving this around because I need something in my hands. I personally think yarn shows are very good for some people, and I don't think those people are me. Maybe it's because I don't do enough shows, therefore I don't know how much stock to take, but I always take way too much and then it doesn't sell. And so then I'm left sitting on, that's the word I wanted, all of this stock that it just doesn't sell. It's very frustrating. Last year I started prepping for East Anglia Yarn Festival from when I found out about it. So maybe I started prepping in November, December, we'll say December, just for sake of argument. December, January, February, March, that's 4 months of me prepping for a yarn show. Now, the more yarn shows you do, the quicker it takes to prep for them, because you already have the stock in place. So all you're doing is topping it up and maybe making some like new things and jazzing it up a little bit, but you're topping it up. I did 3 yarn shows last year. So when I got back from the yarn shows, I would put everything in the shop because why not? I hadn't done a shop update in so long. It only made sense to do that. And some stuff sold, some stuff didn't, some stuff I was sat on for a really long time, and then I had my sale at the end of the year to clear out some stock, which worked wonderfully. Beautiful. So talking money, let's talk money. It's an awkward topic for some people, but I'm not afraid to shy away from it. So I will admit my business isn't doing too badly. I will also admit I am not Scrooge McDuck. We are diving into pools of money, that is. We are in the very privileged position where we have bought a house, lovely stuff. Mario has been able to leave his previous job at the bakery that he was at to open his own bakery. And I mentioned during Vlogmas that he was able to pay himself for the first time in over a year. Very exciting. This means that for the last year, I have been the bill payer of the house, let's say. And when income is inconsistent, as it is when you're a self-employed business owner, that is very stressful. You know, I don't earn heaps from yarn shows. I don't know. I don't chat to other vendors necessarily about how much they earn. I've got a few friends that I chat to, but I'm not going to be disclosing their information because, you know, that's none of your business. It's not my information to share. So the best yarn show I have ever done was last year, East Anglia Yarn Festival. That's the best yarn show I've ever done. 4 months to prepare for it. I took almost, I think I was £3 off taking £3,000 for the weekend. Minus, I think, I can't remember how much we paid for the room. Anyway, minus the cost to get there, the cost for food, and the cost for the room to stay there. And then, yeah, obviously I then had to buy all of the bare yarn to dye up. I put into the joint account about £2,000 a month-ish, and we hope to have some left over at the end of the month. Now, with the cost of everything going up, I've been having to occasionally put a little bit more in. This month I put a bit more in because we went away. And yeah, so £3,000 to cover 4 months of prep work. Not the best. I have established the yarn club, which is very helpful, but that income varies, but it's around £1,800 a month-ish, depending on whether it's colourway people want or not. Obviously, it varies. I have some good months, I have some not so good months, and that's absolutely fine. And then I have YouTube, which I shared which is under £200 a month. Patreon, which is around, I don't know, because a lot of people might have left in the last 2 months. So say it's around £250-ish. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that last year I did do the Resistances collection, which really, really, really helped me out and tied me over that time, which was amazing and fabulous, and it did far better than I expected, which is why I need to be doing another collection in February, because I need to do the same. But what I'm saying is, I don't think for me yarn shows are financially viable. The Wool Monty I had to prep for, I had dyed loads of stuff for, and ended up taking £1,700, which is pretty good. The Wool Monty is one in Sheffield, which is only about 40 minutes up the road. We live close-ish to the motorway where I am in Nottingham, North Nottingham. So all I have to do is get on the motorway, and then the arena is just off the motorway. So it's not like I have far to go, and I can stay at home. That's a cheap one for me. But Yarndale was pricey. Yarndale was expensive. Booth space is expensive. Oh, I didn't even mention booth space. Booth space are expensive. Mario pays about £30 for a table. I pay usually over £300 for a table. We'll say £250. but around £300. And then at East Anglia Yarn Festival, I'm having a double booth, which in hindsight I kind of regret, which was a lot of money. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that you're taking a gamble on. But Yarndale I took just over £2,000, which I was disappointed by, I won't lie. Now, that for some people that's a fantastic market and it's amazing. That kind of taking would be amazing. But for me, I heard all these amazing stories of Yarndale of past and people taking crazy amounts of money. And I thought, fabulous, I've got so much stock. It will sell, amazing. And it you know, sat there for 2 months afterwards, 3 months, 2 months, 3 months afterwards until I had the sale. So yes, I think shows are very good for, if you don't have much of an online presence, they're very good for getting your name out there. They're very good for getting your face out there, and they are very good for like newer businesses. I mean, by very good, they're expensive for new businesses, so maybe not so much, but they're quite good for getting your face out there, getting known. I would always get an influx of followers after a yarn show. For me, they're also an amazing confidence boost because I love customer service. I know some people hate customer service, but I actually quite like customer service, as long as customers are nice, obviously. I quite enjoy customer service. I like being face to face with my customers. I like chatting to people. I like being with my friends and my other fellow yarn dyers. I love that. I will miss the social side of a yarn show, and every time I see pictures, I'm going to get FOMO, and it's going to be awful. But I just don't financially think it's worth it for me to do yarn shows anymore. You know, especially with Yarndale being at peak advent dyeing time, I get so stressed out in the run up to a yarn show, and yeah, I don't financially think it's worth it for me when I could shift my focus back to my online shop, my online audience, and doing collections and doing more shop updates and making stitch markers for shop updates and trying to get that going again, because I've really dropped off of it, and I can feel that I've dropped off of it, and it's uncomfortable. So yeah, I think East Anglia Yarn Festival might be the only yarn show that I do this year. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I just want to point out that I understand that I'm in a very privileged position to be able to do this as my full-time job. I'm not complaining about that at all. I'm just, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to justify myself. I have bills to pay. I've got mouths to feed. The cat mouths, but cat food isn't cheap anymore. And yeah, it's just these little things. I recorded a few rants regarding money in Vlogmas, and I would cut them out of every video, but I think I feel a bit more level-headed now with what I wanted to say. But yeah, right, I'm gonna leave this video here because all I've done is like chat at you for a really long time, and I'm really sorry if that's not interesting, but I'm in a very chatty mood, as I'm sure you can see. Hello. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. That would be amazing. That would mean a lot to me. It helps to get my video out there a little bit more into the YouTube sphere. And if you'd like to subscribe, please feel free. I post video here every Friday, and from the 1st of February, Patreon will be back open if you enjoy my company that much that you want to have an extra video a week. Patreon is an option. You just need to join the Biscuit Brew crew for £5 a month. So if you want to do that, lovely. If you don't, I won't hold it against you. That's also absolutely fine. I just appreciate you being here. If you'd like to follow me on social media, links can all be found in the description box below, along with anything else that I think you might need, like the link to this t-shirt, this jumper. Ta-da! Merch shop, my merch shop. I know this is people think autumn when they think sweater weather, but it's cold out there, so you know I'm also wearing a jumper. And yeah, with all that being said, is there anything else? Oh, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you've been up to. How are you? We've not caught up in a long time. Have you started any projects? I started my Be Bold shawl. I got a bit confused, so put it away. I forgot to take this away with me. Very frustrating. I left it on the sofa, but it meant I got loads of reading done, so I suppose that is the plus side. But anyway, right, I'm heading off. Stop getting distracted, Hannah. And yeah, share this video with someone you think will enjoy it. If not, that's also fine. I hope that you have an amazing week, and I will see you very soon in next week's video. Bye!